Hey everybody, so today's video is a little bit different. As you can see, we're on Zoom, which means my camera looks like a potato. Today, I'm going to be talking to someone who used to be on a React show. So yeah, I'm gonna be asking him some questions. So stay tuned and we will see him shortly.
Yeah, my name is Isaac Zeeky Thompson. Yeah, man, I'm 6'2". That's like irrelevant information. A quick update on me. I put out a book, so I'm pretty amped about that. I'm in Barnes and Noble's Journey to the Great Unknown. I went on tour and I put out music. So
Everything.
And I got some movies coming out. So that's the big thing. I didn't even tell you. So yeah, I got some, I'm up for some lead roles. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
I know Toasty too. So I feel special because of that.
She's here.
There we go.
She's always listening. She's always listening. You just don't see her. So I was gonna start with like talking about like how did you get into all of this, not just like YouTube, but like acting and all of that. Like how old were you? What made you start and all that?
Yeah. So I got into entertainment when I was 6. When I was 6 years old, I was going to this acting studio in Burbank. And it was really because I had this funny accent. And I talked like my grandfather. And I was this kid, I had a funny accent, and I had like reddish brown hair. So I always get picked on a lot. So I went to acting classes to kind of break out of that accent. My high school teacher, really, she was somebody who was adamant, like, look, stick with the entertainment. So she would, I probably shouldn't say this, but she would let me miss class. Like,
what's her name? Let's track her down.
Yeah, I know. Well, we homies, like that's my family, but she would let me miss class just because she believed in me so much. So she would let me miss class to go film, and she would let me talk to her about my big plans. Yeah, that's kind of how everything started. In 16, 17, I get hit up to do this YouTube thing. I didn't really know what YouTube was at the time. Like, I didn't even know it was like a big thing.
That was like the wild, wild west days of YouTube too. Like it was crazy.
Right. Like we was right on the cusp of it. Like it was like, okay, YouTube and all these different people on it. So yeah, like so that happened. And like I said, like that was just a crazy period because I wasn't even knowing that YouTube was like a real medium for entertainment.
Yeah, I think so just learning that it could be this big thing like around that time.
Yeah,
I remember like, well, how many years older are you than me? Because we're not that far.
I'm like two years, maybe 2-3 years.
Okay, yeah, so you kind of like came in right as I was about to leave, because I left when I was around like 14. So, and that was when I realized like, okay, this thing is huge. Like that, I think I started noticing like, hey, this YouTube thing is not just like a hobby and it's not just gonna die out. Like now streaming has taken over.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you gotta know anything you do in life, you gotta know your destination. You gotta know what your destination is. And so for some people it may be YouTube, you know? So if that's the case, then it's like you gotta put on content, you gotta stay on there. But for me, I always felt like it was like, you know, being on screen and acting and exercising, just my creativity. And yeah, so it was more outside of YouTube for me. And but I mean, YouTube is big though. Like it's real big. So even people that use it as a medium to put out their work and to show their creativity, I'm all for it. Like I see I can be a lot of pros within that as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you about, is like how, like, were your goals before you got onto YouTube, are they different than what your goals are now? Or do you think you had the same ones, but YouTube is just like a little stepping stone in between?
Yeah, I think YouTube was one of those things to where I mean, that's the reason why I can't say nothing negative about the past. You know, me and you, we talk outside of camp. So,
Yeah.
but
After show, you guys are not invited. I'm sorry.
yeah. But I mean, I think everything happens how it's supposed to. It was just like a stage for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like I looked at it the same way. Like I accidentally fell into YouTube, kind of like how you like didn't plan on it. I just was like, yeah, I'll try it. I don't know. And yeah, like acting was always like my main thing. Now it's more
Right,
writing,
right.
but like it was always gonna be like entertainment industry. Like I never thought of
Mm-hmm.
anything else. I was never like, oh, I want to be an astronaut or whatever. Like when I was a kid,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, oh,
yeah,
I want to be on TV. Like that's
yeah.
what I'm gonna do. So
And
I'm
you were
glad
young
to hear that.
though. Like you were young. I remember you were young because when I came around that scene, you already had content in.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about like from your own produced shows to everything like that. So you were already your writing skills and everything like that. You already had Toasty. So
Oh,
all these
Chelsea's
things
more famous than me.
that's what I'm saying. So all of these things were already implemented within you at an early age. And I seen that too. I was like, okay, you know what, this is somebody who's passionate, not just about, there's a lot of times you got people that are passionate just about being known.
Yeah.
You know, they're just chasing the fame, but you're passionate about being successful and the industry. So I seen that. I mean, a lot of people seen that early on when you were doing your skits and everything like that.
Wow, thank you. That's so nice.
Yeah, no problem. You have to know yourself before you go into any career you want to go to. Before you step into this world, you have to know, you have to have self-identity. And that's the thing. I think we're living in a world nowadays to where everybody does what's trending. Even hatred is trending right now. So
God, yeah.
it's cool for people to jump on a bandwagon and hate somebody or to speak about their negative experiences they had with a person. But I think in this time period right now, it's like people need to be led with positivity. And for me, I choose to be a man of peace. So it goes back to really just not being a follower and knowing what it is that you want your image, your brand to represent, you know? And I kind of knew that early on too.
Yeah, I think you always had that mindset too. You were never like talking crap about people. Like you never wasted your time on that like trivial things. Like I feel like a lot of people, like I've noticed a lot of videos on YouTube lately are very like all about hating on people. I was gonna ask you because I know that you're a very positive person. I'm borderline. Sometimes I'm positive, sometimes I'm
You're positive.
You're 100% positive though. I was gonna ask you, like what's like one like positive like quote or like mantra that you have that you can like share with everyone watching right now, because I'm sure everyone else is going through like a very negative time, you know?
Basically just the only thing I can say nowadays is don't let hatred run you. And so I fall into the space of thinking about the past and I think we all been there, you know, of being frustrated of how certain things turned out. But when you just focus on, I think everybody in this world just need to focus on playing their part individually. Like it's easy to point the finger at other people. Like it's so easy to say, okay, this person is wrong, this person is wrong, but you have to say, am I doing my part? You know, and it's like if you're doing your part as an individual, then collectively as a world, we'll get to a better place. But pointing a finger and having hatred in your heart, that's just gonna lead to more confusion, you know? So just focus on building yourself up, helping out people and being the best person you can be. And I think that's gonna lead into a better place eventually. The past is the past.
Yeah, we can't change anything that already happened.
You can't change anything that's in the past. So it's like the past is the past. And, you know, for me, my motivation for the past just led me to create some better things. Right. I was like, okay, this person has tried to do this to me. So now I'm gonna put this book out. Like I'm gonna be in Barnes and Nobles. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. So really, I think the best revenge you can get on somebody that's done you wrong is to have a successful future.
To do exactly what they said that you could never do.
Yeah, or what they tried to stop you from doing. You know, like that's the thing. Like, you know, so yeah, I'm just at a place in my life to where I'm just happy. I'm happy.
Awesome. I know that you're doing a lot of, like, you do always do a lot of things. You know, you're doing your acting, you have your book, you had an EP that came out too. So
Yeah.
what's like your project that you're most excited about, like, for this year?
The movies. I would definitely say the movies. So my close homie, he helped me. I shot some self tapes, and the directors really liked them, and it's a good movie project. So I would say that
These are like big auditions that you're getting that you're super excited about.
Yeah, some big auditions. So yeah, definitely the movies, I would say. Yeah.
Super exciting. I mean, just to have the opportunity, like, I remember anytime that I would have an audition, like, I auditioned for a Wes Anderson movie, like, way
Nice.
and I was like a kid, so I didn't really know. I, like, now looking back, I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful. Obviously I wasn't in the movie, but I'm so grateful I had the opportunity, and he saw me, you know, like, he knows who I am.
Yeah.
That's always cool. Like, anytime that you can just have, like, your foot in the door and your face in the room and have it, like, a casting director see you, you never know when you're going to see them again in the future. And if you make a good impression, they're going to remember that.
And keep knocking. Just keep knocking on these doors, and eventually something is going to open. Something is going to open. But yeah, I'm super excited for what's about to happen. I think the world too is heading to a better place. It's like, you know, it may be some negativity going on, but I think a lot of times when you look through history, it was always something negative going on. It was something big going on. So this is just our turn to get hit with something. And it's so many things. So I feel like all in all though, like, it's going to bring us closer together. And I think we're heading into a good season. If you've been through life, anybody who's been through life know what it's like to struggle to some type of capacity. And so for me, it's like, I know what it's like to really be depressed. I know what it's like to have anger, hatred in my heart, or whatever the case may be. So as you start growing through life, though, you start realizing the things that's important to you. And I think that's the important thing about this, everything that's going on in the world, like COVID, like, it forced you to slow down and to put the right things into perspective. So I think that is a silver lining of what's going on. Because
you mentioned depression, I was just going to ask any advice that you have, because I've gotten a lot of questions lately, and I just filmed a video about this. Of how do I cope with it personally, because I've had depression since I was 10 years old, so it's nothing new to me, but over the years I've learned, like, what helps me. So in the video that I made, I just put the things that help me, but everyone's different. So if you have, like, any ways that you cope with, like, depression or anxiety or anger or stress or whatever it is, like, if you can share that.
You know, for me, it's just simple. It's the past is learning to accept that the past is the past. It's as simple as that, you know, and you got to use the right components of your past to help you get to your future. So it's really just bottling energy in the right places.
Right.
Like that's it. For me, I believe in certain things that help me get through out the day, or help me to get to where I need to get to. So really just having a higher belief and not letting the world put so much information in you.
Yes, I had to take a social media break. I took a break for like over a month off of Instagram and Twitter, because it was just like, I was getting too involved. Like, my emotions were like all over the place. I was worrying about everything, and I was just like, you need to slow down. So I did that for the first time ever. Because I know some people do a cleanse, like a once a month cleanse or whatever. I've never done that. So,
and you know me, I'm opposite. Like, my thing is not being on social media enough. Like, I don't have the joint installed on my phone or nothing like that. Just because it's so much information and it's so much stuff to where I feel like people just, it's like the news on repeat.
Yeah, it's like ending. It's like constant updates. Things. Yeah.
And people are people can get programmed to like hate one another, you know, or just to suppress their anger in the wrong places. Like I think a certain level of anger is good, but you just got to use that as fuel to get to where you need to get to. Like if I haven't been done wrong in the past, then I wouldn't have that fuel to say, let me do some monumental things, let me break some barriers, let me continue to go. So having that, you know, anger is healthy to a certain degree. You just got to know how to channel all those energies, so to speak.
So can you talk about your latest book?
My book is called Journey to the Great Unknown. It's basically about kids that go to the club, they party all night, and no, I'm just playing.
I was like,
no, so Journey to the Great Unknown is about these kids, so to speak, and they make a wish on the shooting star, and it's playing off that saying, make a wish on the shooting star. So they're living in a world, and it's crazy, like I wrote this like back, but they're living in a world and there's so much pain going on. So much pain going on. And yeah, and so they make a wish on the shooting star, and these people that ride the shooting stars, they're like these magical beings that hear your wishes, and they take these kids to a magical land, and they see everything that they thought they lost is really not lost. It was just repositioned. So it's like a fantasy adventure type book to hopefully give some kids hope, you know?
Yeah, I really like that. I think that's a great idea. I'm definitely gonna, in the description below, I'm gonna put a link to everything that you're talking about. So if anyone's interested, they can go check it out for themselves.
Yeah.
So just a shameless plug for you, you know.
A shameless plug, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and those are all my questions. You answered all of them.
Hey, congratulations too. Like I know I told you this, but we on camera, so I got to say it again, like for the camera. But congratulations for graduating. Like that's big.
Thank you.
That's big. Like, and not a lot of people can say that. It was the NYU Film School, right?
It's New York Film Academy, but the location is in Burbank because apparently nobody writes or sells scripts in New York, so you can only do it in LA, which is the Burbank location. I was disappointed, I know.
Burbank, hey, that's a legendary location. Burbank.
Our school building is right next door to Warner Brothers, the Warner Brothers building, and right across the street from Warner Brothers lot. So we actually got to film, not in Warner Brothers, but we got to do some screenings in there, and then we got to film in the Universal lot for one of our short films. So that was super fun because
Nice.
we filmed right after they did the last Quentin Tarantino movie. So we were like basically on the same set, like the little Western set that they used with like Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, everyone knows him.
I got a story about Leo.
Oh my God, yes, let's hear it.
I got a story about Leo. So I was in Belize.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Belize, and it was like on the island, like they were throwing me flavor. They were waving, they were saying what's up, and so I thought I was the man. Like I was like, man, like I may have to move out here because I'm getting treated like I already made it, you know? So I thought I was that guy. This boat pulls up. I'm like, who is this? And sure enough, like all the girls on the island that was saying what's up to me, they standing like on the outskirts, like on the outskirts of the island, just like waiting for this boat to pull up. So I told like the security guy, I was like, yo, who is that? And dude was like, oh, that's Leonardo DiCaprio. Just my man took all the attention away from me, and he wasn't even present. Like he wasn't even, you couldn't even see him. And that's when I knew like I haven't made it yet. You know? Like that was the
status yet, but do you really want to be that famous? I mean, that's a lot of responsibility.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. For me, it's never been like a fame type thing, but it comes with it. It comes with what we do, you know? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, I'm ready for it. Like I said, continue to plant good seeds, and eventually those things will harvest. But if you plant bad seeds though, like you may prosper for a little bit, and then eventually everything will come down.
I know. We've seen that times.
Yeah.
Not calling anyone out. I'm just saying I've seen it happen, and it's sad. Like it sucks.
Listen,
you know?
I've seen it happen. You know, there's it's just for people just make sure that you're planting a good foundation in whatever it is that you do.
I feel like this video is like good timing too, because it's like right before everything's about to really get started, like open up again, and movies are starting to film again and stuff. So
absolutely.
Yeah, but people are still at home and they want to watch stuff.
Right?
Make the content for them to watch.
Here we go. I got to do a sign at 6:30 in Santa Monica. So
sweet.
So I'm gonna just chill out with my boy, and that's it.
Yeah, take it easy before you have to go and be all professional, you know?
So, right. I gotta put on my professional voice. So.
Yeah, definitely.
No, we got this, man. So you stay safe out there. Okay, tell the dogs and Toasty I said what's up.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
All right, peace.